Alright, in this video we're going to cover how to score your matches electronically in a dual meet tournament. So I'm just going to come to the home page. I'm on the testing site, but you would go to your home page, click on your event. I'm going to log in as a tournament worker and enter my username and password. So now I'm logged into my tournament. I'll come up to operating and click on electronic bouts and then select my style, which I'm going to do folk style. And then I open up my controller. So you see that this opens in a new window. I can go ahead and maximize that. I might even go into full screen mode just to give myself a little more room. For this video, I'll just leave it as it is, and then I'm going to come in here and select my duel. So I'll just go, say I'm on mat 1, Roseburg and Waverly. And now I'm to the page where I'll be able to score my matches. We logged in right through our tournament as a worker, so we should be okay there. Matches will always bring you back to this matches page. Athletes is going to be where the rosters are. Match is always going to take you back to the current match that you're scoring. You'll notice that I don't have any wrestlers here, but we'll change that in a minute. The settings, I'm going to go into matches and get started scoring my match. First thing I want to do is select my starting weight. We'll say it's 132. You'll notice it reorders the bouts. And then I'm just going to click on my first match. So the wrestlers for 132 come up. I click on the blue link for the weight class. If I need to change a wrestler, I can do that here. We'll say that the 26 pounder is moving up. Maybe this guy is correct, and then just save and continue. And you see that you have your red wrestler, your green wrestler. If that's wrong, I can just use this drop down and I can change him to green. And you'll notice it flips both of them. This will also stick for the duration of this duel. And so you should only have to change it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my clock by clicking on the green button. You'll see the clock starts to run, the background turns green. I can also on my keyboard use the down arrow to start and stop this. You'll notice that I didn't have to come over here. For the sake of this video, I'm going to go ahead and use it here so you can see when I start and stop. But again, down arrow on your keyboard will start and stop. If I need to change the time, I can highlight in here and change whatever I need to. Maybe I want it to go there, or I can use these ticks, and I can use this to tick up or down 1 second at a time. If I need to go back to the last time that I stopped, I can click this blue back arrow, and it's going to take me back to the last time that I reset the clock, or I guess the start of the clock in this case. But if you have a false start or something where the clock runs for a few seconds, and you just want to go back to where you were, you can use this button right here. So I'm going to start my match. These guys are wrestling. If green gets a takedown, I'm just going to come over here and hit takedown. Let's say red gets a reversal. I come over here and let's say that they go off the mat. So I'm going to use stop. And now let's say that this referee said, no, that actually wasn't a reversal. That was an escape. I could just come and click on whatever it is that I need to change. So I'm going to click the red reversal. And again, we hit on these just a little bit ago, but I could switch the colors, I could delete them as I did, I could insert something, but I'm just going to change it. So I'm going to click change, and rather than the reversal that I gave, I'm actually going to come in here and click the escape. And now when I do this, you see that my score changes. This is now an escape, and I'm back to where I want it to be. If there's a blood time, I can run those clocks from here, start it, stop it. Same is true with injury or recovery if you're using those. And when I want to come back and bring the focus back to the time clock, the main clock for my match, the match clock, I just go ahead and hit set, and it brings this one and kind of enlarges that so you have it there. And so as I work through this match, these are going to continue just to populate there. The item that I skipped over, I guess, a little bit earlier is this summary link over here. So if I come over to this link for summary, it's going to bring this up, and this is kind of your score sheet. So if a referee or a coach comes over, or you need to go back and see what happened in a match, you can use this summary, and it's going to show you everything that happened. And then again, if I click match, it's going to bring me right back to where I was. So let's say, for instance, that I have finished my first period, and you might be tempted to come in here and do this. If you use these blue arrows for forward and back, you're going to have a good luck. If I do this next, you'll see that it's going to bring up my choices. So let's say that red defers. You'll notice it gets noted there. And then let's say green takes top. And then now we're ready to go ahead, start the clock, and continue my match. A couple points here in these items. You can use the plus or the minus. You shouldn't unless you absolutely have to. The reason for that is that if you just put a +1 here, it's going to show up, but we don't know what that point was for. So I'm going to go ahead and actually delete that item. So we want to make sure we're clicking on these in here. If green gets hit for stalling, and I put stalling here, you'll see that this little icon comes up. You'll know that he has one warning, and it also gets noted here. And on the second stalling, it's going to give the second, and it's also going to give my point to red. So you don't need to do both things. You just click what happens. Basically, you're going to watch the ref. You're just going to click on the screen as to what the referee said happened there. Okay, so let's say we stop here, and I think we had, yeah, green was on top. And anytime a match ends, let's say in this instance, green pinned red. So I'm just going to come over anytime a match ends, whether it's a pin, forfeit, buy, not a buy, but a major, tech fall, whatever it might be. I'm just going to come over to result, click result. In our case, it's going to be green. It's going to pick the wrestler that the system thinks is the winner. Because green was on top, it's going to pick him. But if it happened to be red, if you got a defensive pin or something, I could do that. But it's him. It's going to say fall. It's going to give you the time. If I needed to change this, I certainly could. Here's the current match score and the time of end match time. And then I hit save result. And now we come back to our page with our matches on it. You'll notice your team score is here. If I need to adjust the team points, I can go ahead and click on here. I can say who I'm adjusting the points for. I could put the point adjustment and the reason and then add that adjustment. And in my case, there's really nothing there, so I'm just going to go back to matches, sorry. And then I'm going to open this one again. I'm going on to my next match. I select my wrestlers. Again, if this is a different guy, I can go ahead and pick a different guy, hit save and continue, and I can go ahead and continue my matches. Now let's say in this instance that this match goes overtime. These guys went through the first period, no score. Green chose, and you'll notice now that after I select a choice in the first match, that it's going to show me who has choice from here on out. So this is a nice handy feature. Green picks top, we go to the next period, now red has choice, let's say he picks neutral, and we get all the way through this third period. We're in the third period now, and we get to the end of the third period, no score. I just click next, and it takes me right to my overtime period. And I can go ahead, I can start this, and let's say now that red gets a quick takedown, and he is now the winner. So as I always need to do, I come over here to result. Red is the winner. When that match ended in overtime with red getting that takedown, the system knows that it was the first sudden victory period. If I needed to change that for whatever reason, again, I could there. Score is right, and I click save result. Those are the basics. I think that covers what you need to know in terms of running a dual meet electronically and scoring your matches. Again, a couple of items over here that may be helpful. Always click result when you finish a match. The summary will show you what's happened in that match, and if you need to go ahead and chat with your head table, that's over here too. So go ahead, try this, make sure you're practicing on the testing site, and you should be all set.